Hey guys, Geno Zero. How you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you are in. We'll do a morning coffee break here. Holy crap. Man, that's good coffee. Alright. Um, Forgive me if you hear a bunch of noise in the background. Last night, uh, Last night we introduced some new chickens into the laying flock. We had a group of hens that was ready to go from the peep show grow out pen into the laying flock. And of course the ladies are having their whole say so about the situation. So you may hear quite a bit of ruckus in the background, and I apologize if you do. Alrighty, first off, my sister Gravy 111 and Papa Les have made it to Mississippi. For those of you who are keeping track of that, I don't think they have their internet up and going yet, but they moved from Arizona to Mississippi to start their own homestead. They're starting it completely from scratch. So good luck to them. And hopefully she's going to be making some videos along the way, showing us how she does things, and because they're starting from scratch with a raw piece of property, and they're going to go from there. So there you have it. For those of you who are keeping up with Gravy and Papa, they are there. They are working on it, and we'll hear from them soon. So quick update on them. Somebody had asked me about predators. Do we have bears and mountain lions? We do, but there's not very many of them, and you hardly ever see them. Some of the old timers says the last couple of years that the Ohio DNR has been releasing a couple of mountain lions here and there, but I have never seen one. I have never seen a bear out here in my section of the hills. I do know that they have lots of bears, lots of black bears. I think black bears is the only bears that we have in our region of Appalachia here, but I've never personally seen one. And the people that I know who have seen them said they've been real small and running away. They're really, really shy in our area. So mountain lions and bears are not really a source of concern for me as far as any kind of predation goes of my animals. The trouble that I've had with predators has been mostly with like raccoons and coyotes and so on and so forth. And the coons and the coyotes usually, the coons, whenever I see a coon and we have to shoot it, then we'll of course skin them and put them in the freezer, because for us that's a meat source. It's no different than hunting anything else, especially if something is after your livestock. Then you have to deal with that, and a lot of folks will choose to live trap them and relocate them, and that's fine, that's great. Me, I choose to eat them. I figure if a coon eats my chicken, then I'll eat the coon and then I'll get my chicken back. Plus, they're tasty, and I'm not going to pass up a free meal. I'm not going to pass up, free supper for my family. So that's the reason why. Coyotes usually, when we shoot a coyote or we capture a coyote, will be skinned and the fur will be sold to a fur trader over in Ashland. So we try not to waste anything. We don't kill just to be killing for the sake of killing things. I'm not into that. That's not me. When I pull my trigger, it's because I'm looking to put meat on the table, food on the table, and that's just how it is, whatever it may be. So that's our predator situation. And I don't have any predators that, like, with the brooder boxes here on the back porch. We don't have anything that comes into the back porch here. Usually if something gets on the back porch or gets close to the house, our dogs will bark and let us know that there's something around. With the barn and the chicken coop, believe it or not, the goats, man, are like chicken bouncers. They don't even like the dogs out there in the barnyard. I have never, ever since we moved goats into our barnyard out here, into this pen that's behind me, I have not seen a possum, a raccoon, a skunk, anything out there. And from how they act whenever, like, Mabel or Harley tries to go out there with us when we go out to chore, the goats try to run them off, and the goats will chase them out. So I I assume they do the same thing with anything else that tries to come stumbling through the barnyard. So the goats, that's another good reason to have the goats around, because goats are they're pretty ballsy, man, when it comes to standing up for their little territory. And if a raccoon jumps the fence and jumps into the barnyard, well, they're going to butt it and they're going to run it off, and it won't have an opportunity to get to the chicken house that way. And then down there on the creek, whenever they come up from the creek, I have live traps set that way. But it's been a while since I've caught anything. We pretty much got them to the point now where they stay away from here and they go on down the road and do their business. The wild edibles, the spring dehydrates video that I did, where I showed a few of the things that we gather and dehydrate. Somebody had asked if I would do another video showing the plants and showing all the different kinds of wild edibles. I probably can, but it's so, those kind of wild medicinal plants and wild edible plants, they vary so much between regions of the country and different countries and so on, meaning that a plantain or something like that, or chickweed, something that looks familiar to me because I have it here locally in my area, it may not look the same where you live. It may be a completely different plant. There are a lot of plants that look similar to wild plants, edible plants that are not edible, and some of them are in fact poisonous and can do some harm. And I'm not an expert. I'm not, I'm just a dude that lives in the hills. I wouldn't want to feel responsible if I made a video and said, this is good to eat, this is good to eat, this is good for medicine, this is what yellow root looks like, this is what bloodroot looks like, and then somebody goes out and picks a plant or picks a root that turns out to be, a poisonous one and gets sick, then I would hold myself responsible for that because they misunderstood, or the picture on the camera wasn't good enough. So I can, but I'm not comfortable with that level of responsibility. I would encourage you to do your own research in your local area. I have things here on my hill and on my property that they don't have just a couple of ridges over. I've never seen yellow root up there by the cow ponds on the ridge and stuff. I'll just see it back here in my area. So it's geographic location is really, really important. Y'all down south or y'all up north or further east and further west, everything is different for your geographic location. And I would really encourage, if you're interested in wild edibles and wild medicinals, I would really encourage you to go to your local library or do some local research on what you have. Talk to your old timers where you live, and learn that way about what you have very specifically locally to your area. Now, naturally, a lot of things are going to look the same. Dandelions are very easily recognizable. Blackberries, raspberries, those kind of things are very easily recognizable. But you can get into some other things that have a lot of lookalikes that are sometimes can be dangerous. So if I do make a video about that, please take it with a grain of salt. And remember my little PSA video that I did a couple years back about know your geographic location. You don't want to pick the wrong plant and eat it and then wind up laying in your backyard with black tape over your eyes. So there you have it. Like I said, I'm really not an expert. We have what we have because we know it's safe and we've done our research. But I'm just a dude. And there's a lot more informed and expert people that you can get that advice from rather than me. So there you have it. Dispatching animals and the emotions that go along with dispatching animals. It is, and I can consider myself to be a reasonably tough dude. I've been around the block a few times. But when it comes to butchering animals, and especially animals that you've raised from little bitty babies, it can be a very difficult thing to do, to dispatch that animal and to process it for food for your family. How I do it is, and it can be unpleasant, and it's nothing fun. and it's nothing that I look forward to doing. It's not like I'm like, oh boy, I'm gonna wake up today and kill me a whole bunch of chickens. Yeehaw! No, it's not. It's not like that. It's just one of them chores that's necessary to do on the homestead. If you are choosing to produce your own meat, for whatever reason it be, whether healthier, you don't want to give your money to the stores, you don't have any money to buy stuff, so you're raising your own. It's just one of them things that you have to tell yourself, yes, this is not pleasant, but it is necessary. This is something that I need to do. I need to take this rabbit and I need to process it so that my family will have a good, healthy meal later on today. Um, it's just one of them things that's it's a necessity. It's like mucking out the hog pen or cleaning out the chicken coop. It's nothing pleasant, and you don't look forward to doing it. But when it comes time to do it, it has to be done. It's just one of those chores that has to be done, and you do it, and then you move along. And then when you're enjoying the fruits of your labors, later on, if you're having dinner, whether it be chicken or rabbit or whatever it is, then you know that you've done good by your family or by yourself. It's no different than hunting. When I go out hunting, I don't do it for sport. I do it so that my family will have meat and healthy meat and are well taken care of. So yeah, it can be very difficult, especially the first time that you do it will be difficult. But try to remember the reasons why you're doing it, and it's like I said, it's one of those things that's necessary, and not everybody can do it. There's a lot of folks who said, I tried to raise rabbits, and I just can't bring myself to butcher them. Well, that's okay. It's not nothing. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to do it. If you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it. If you know how to do it, then if the time comes and you have some sort of big life-changing event, some big LCE, to where you are going to be forced to butcher an animal, at least you know how to do it, and you had the unpleasant experience of doing it. And if you choose not to do it on a regular basis, then that's okay. It's okay to have pet rabbits. We have lots of pets that are pet rabbits that are cute and cuddly. We have one in the house. My daughters have some in the house. We have some out back here. And then we have the rabbits that we raise to supplement our meat supply, because meat is very expensive and we're on a very limited income. And meat is very expensive, and rabbits produce a lot of meat for my family, same as the chickens do. So, like I said, that's how I deal with having to dispatch an animal for butchering and processing. It's not easy, it's not pleasant, but it's one of those homestead chores that is necessary and has to be done. It's no when it. I don't want to sound brutal or calloused, but it's no different than going out and picking tomatoes. When the tomatoes are ready, you got to go out and you got to pick them. Well, when the rabbits and the chickens are ready, you got to go out and you got to pick them. So it's just one of them things that helps us provide food for my family, and that's how I deal with the emotional end of it anyway. Knowing that my children are going to have a good, healthy meat, to me outweighs any kind of sadness or whatever it is that I don't even know the right word. I don't even know the right word for it. That I would feel for the animal that we're dispatching. So there you have it. Just like when Pork Chop has her babies, we're going to be raising up these cute little piglets, and we'll raise them up, and then eventually we'll butcher a couple of them for meat for our family. That's the reason why she's here. So there you have it. I hope that makes sense, and I hope it helps. It probably didn't. I'm probably just rambling on. You probably need to get some more coffee in me, but what are you going to do? So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to get back after it. I really hope it helps. These little coffee chats, I really hope they help. Like I said, please keep in mind, I am not an expert in anything at all. I'm just a dude and making videos on YouTube, and I hope that I give out decent information, and I hope that the information helps a little bit for some people. And I try to encourage folks to keep on learning, because life is a never learning. It's a never-ending learning process. You always learn new things, and that's just how I believe. And I really believe that whatever it is that I can do each and every one of you guys can do it as well, because I am nothing special. I'm nothing extraordinary. Like I say, I'm just a dude, and anything that I do, y'all can do too. And it's just how I truly believe. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit. You guys have a great rest of the day. Questions or comments, feel free. God bless. Oh, come on, knees. There we go. The end. Buzz, buzz, the end.